Hello and welcome to my excuse to talk to myself. Today we're going to be talking about games that I don't think deserve to die. Now it is 4th of July and so you might hear firecrackers popping in the background. Ignore it. And why am I using a different mic? That don't matter. I didn't feel like unhooking this one, so I just used a different one. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Now my first game, and this might be a controversial take, Secret Neighbor, bro. I feel like the gameplay wasn't even that bad, to be honest. I actually had a very fun time on a little time that I spent on the game, but like Secret Neighbor in itself isn't even a bad game. I think what really killed it was Among Us, because I think that came out around the same time. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the game had the audience. I remember watching Corey's video with him and Gloom and Cub Scouts all playing, and that was really what introduced me to the game. Plus, with Hello Neighbor's success, it was kind of bound to have a little bit of an audience at least. The updates were kind of fun. The only thing that I can remember being bad about it was trying to get into lobbies. For some reason, that game's servers really sucked. I don't know if that was just a PlayStation thing or if that was like an all-around thing, but like getting into lobbies with your friends took forever, bruh. It was already hard enough to get my friends to play the game. So, but yeah, I feel like with a few tweaks here and there, that game could have been like way bigger than what it was. Maybe it was just because all the Hello Neighbor games ended up sucking anyway though. But regardless, I still don't think the game deserved to die. I feel like y'all should get back on it right now. Nope. Now, the second game is one y'all might have actually forgot about because I low-key forgot about it until like a few days ago. Y'all remember Hyperscape, bro? Hyperscape had potential. One of the like few interesting takes on Battle Royale at the time because there were like Battle Royales being spammed everywhere. There was Apex, Fortnite, PUBG. That's the only three I can remember. But like the movement on Hyperscape was fluid. You could literally like run up buildings and stuff, and that's super cool. Like when I was chasing somebody on there, I feel like I was really chasing them for real. I feel like I was in a Matrix. I think the thing that killed this game the most was one, how long it took to actually get a kill, because it took like 30 minutes to kill anybody on that game, and that was really frustrating. Or maybe it was just because it wasn't as like big. Maybe it was just like the time of release, because like it did release when other battle royales are already dominating the scene, so it kind of sneaked its way in and got booted out real fast. I'm not gonna lie, the game lasted like 2 weeks. And I got a lot of games that do deserve to die, so if y'all want to see that, let me know something. Now this next game, I'm not gonna lie, I will never forgive y'all, but I can kind of see why it died, but I'll still never forgive y'all for it. Multiverses, bro. When this game was coming out, I literally joined the early access thing and got early access to the game just so I could play it early because I was that excited. Like this game had so much potential, bro. I'm not saying it was gonna take over something like Smash, because don't get me wrong, I'm nice at that too and I love that game, but it could have definitely been so much bigger than what it ended up being. And I feel like a majority of that is them just not listening to their community. The servers were really bad on that game. Like they were really bad, especially when the game first dropped. They were terrible, and even after the second drop, the game was already kind of dead, so it was like not much that was gonna happen from that point on. And I think one of the main complaints that people were giving was that, you know, the game was moving slow, we weren't getting many new characters, which is all valid, but like why did y'all let it die though? Y'all hop right back on Brawlhalla. Nobody want to play that. But I will say though, anybody who play Iron Giant, don't touch a fighting game ever in your life, bro. This game might be one y'all literally didn't even play, but Death Note Killer Among Us was smooth too. It's sad because the second I actually got on the game is when the game died, and I was so excited to play that game. And what's crazy about it is the concept of the game is actually super smooth. Having to get people's name tags and stuff was super, like a little bit of a twist on the particular like Among Us formula. The game itself was pretty interesting. It introduced new mechanics and all this other stuff. I liked it personally, but I guess the community didn't like it because the game kind of died off within like the first week that it came out. But them Afro Senju videos that I watched on it were elite, bro. I feel like if that game would have came out in like 2020 peak Among Us times, it could have competed with Among Us, maybe been a bit higher. I mean, it's dead now, so I guess we'll never know. Also, this game was shut down now, but Friday the 13th, the game fire. To be fair though, they like got a lawsuit and everything, so I mean there wasn't really much they could do about that, and they couldn't even do like updates or nothing, so I guess people just got bored of the game. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that game died and it didn't get a lawsuit, so I don't know. I don't really know what happened with that game because I never got the chance to play it, because you know, by the time I got it, it was dead. Why is it always when I get games that they want to die? I don't even know if y'all care about this, but do y'all remember Realm Royale? Boy, if you don't get, I low-key didn't even mind that game. Like I actually had some hours on there. It was looking cool. I feel like the only reason I got off of it personally was because I was trash, but the game itself wasn't even that bad. I mean, it was one of another like battle royale games they came out, which like 100 of them came out, so I'm not surprised. But like Realm Royale was a little unique. I feel like it could have had its own little player base on the side. It was a unique idea, and I think that and that's what I think we need more of in the gaming scene right now, because a lot of games are just copy and paste of one another, and I feel like all the games that try to be unique died. So is it that people don't like unique stuff, or is it that the scene is too competitive? Like what is it? Why do these games keep dying? Rogue Company was also cool. I mean, I clocked in a few hours on that game. I had a decent time on there. I don't think it could have been like the biggest game ever, but it was okay. Can I see why that game died? Yes. Do I think it deserved to die? I'm not gonna get my input on that. Let's run on topic. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Y'all hyped that game up so much for it to not last a month. And I do understand that that game had issues. Honestly, I like the game. I had a good time on it, but also I never touched online. So that's probably why I didn't have a good time with it or have a bad time with it. Because I was just playing against my friends and we were all around the same skill level. So it was kind of cool. It was kind of smooth for me. But I do know that the game didn't have much to offer in terms of single player. Like the story mode wasn't even like fully animated. It was like cards and stuff. It was kind of some mid. Once again, I think the general problem is that these games just don't listen to the communities. Nobody in Dragon Ball Z really listens to the communities, and there was a bunch of cheese going on online. That's why I didn't touch it, because I already knew the second I got online I was going to uninstall the game. And finally, my last game I will talk about is Deceit. I honestly played Deceit and I had a very great time. It was kind of weird to pick up the rules at first. Like, it's a lot of different stuff that's going on in the game, but the game is good, bruh. If you get a nice lobby of people, the game is super cool. It's super chill. I think that it is enjoyable for anybody who is really into like the Among Us type games. And even if you're not into Among Us type games, it's different, bruh. Maybe instead of gassing up these games that come out like X Defiant, because who was really on X Defiant, bro? We played X Defiant for like one day and then went right back to Call of Duty. All right, though, chat. I think that's all I had to say. I can make a part 2 to this probably if I think about it some more, but I don't feel like thinking no more right now. If you want to see me do a part 2, or if you got some games of your own that I need to talk about in the part 2, let me know some in the comments. If you enjoyed this video style, let me know that in the comments too. And subscribe, or I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna flex my fit on you. Anyways, thank you for watching.
Love it. I'm too high, got my shit out the oven. Blueberry, Burberry, diamonds, they bust.